The war in Ukraine has already seen some of the most advanced weaponry in the world deployed. But now, attention is turning to one of America's most powerful strike systems, the Tomahawk cruise missile. Russia has warned that if Washington supplies Tomahawks to Kyiv, the conflict could escalate dramatically.
Я думаю, что это результат, прежде всего, давления Европы на Вашингтон. И Вашингтон хочет показать, что он учитывает мнение своих союзников. Я не думаю, что мы уже имеем дело с принятым решением. Томагавки американцы далеко не всем поставляют. Из европейцев, если я не ошибаюсь, в Испанию и в Нидерланды. Остальным как-то остерегаются. И если они считают, что Украина это ответственная держава, которая будет ими ответственно пользоваться, то это будет для меня удивительно.
So what makes these missiles so formidable and why does Ukraine want them? The Tomahawk land attack missile is no ordinary weapon. Designed for deep strike missions, it can hit targets up to 1600 kilometers away with remarkable precision. Unlike ballistic missiles, which fly high and fast, Tomahawks skim low, hugging the terrain to evade radar and defenses. At 20 feet long, weighing over 1500 kilograms, and armed with advanced guidance systems, they are capable of striking high-value targets like command centers, airfields, and supply depots far beyond Ukraine's current reach. This ability to strike deep in the rear is what makes them such a game changer. For Ukraine, Tomahawks could threaten the infrastructure that sustains Russia's war effort: fuel depots, logistics hub, even bases inside Russia that have so far been beyond Kyiv's grasp. Tomahawks are expensive, costing around $1.3 million each, and are produced by Raytheon, a unit of RTX. The US military still considers them vital, with plans to purchase dozens more in the coming years while upgrading their guidance systems. They have been battle-tested in conflicts from Iraq to Syria and more recently used against Houthi positions in Yemen by US and British forces.
So I think that, for the better part of the Trump administration, the president has leaned towards Russia, right? And if you saw the treatment of President Putin at the Anchorage summit, rolling out the red carpet, giving him such nice treatment during that summit, it would seem to indicate that he favored Russia. It seems, though, that he's become increasingly frustrated with how President Putin, has dealt with him over these couple of weeks, especially since Anchorage. Over the course of that time, we've seen Russian strikes into Ukraine that have targeted the capital itself, have hit government buildings, and has also hit the European Union's buildings inside of Kyiv. So, you're looking at upwards of 100 civilian casualties since Anchorage. And I think President Trump has made clear that he's frustrated with Putin. And, perhaps this indication that they're willing to provide Tomahawk missiles, shows that the frustration has reached a boiling point and they're ready to, balance out, the U.S. approach to the conflict and provide Ukraine with these weapons.
Ukraine isn't defenseless when it comes to long-range strikes. It has developed the Flamingo missile, boasting a range of over 1,000 miles, and earlier produced the Neptune, which can travel more than 600 miles. Western allies have supplied Harpoons, ATACMS, and Storm Shadow missiles, but these all have shorter ranges compared to Tomahawks. ATACMS, for instance, max out at under 200 miles, while Storm Shadows reach about 155 miles. In short, none offer the same combination of range, accuracy, and survivability as the Tomahawk. Supplying Tomahawks would massively upgrade Ukraine's strike capabilities, but it also carries enormous risks. Moscow has made it clear that allowing Kyiv to fire at targets deep inside Russia could provoke retaliation not just against Ukraine, but potentially against Western suppliers. For Washington, it is not just a military calculation, it is a geopolitical one.
Particularly last week when President Trump made this rhetorical U-turn on Ukraine, suggesting that Ukraine could win the war and that Russia was just a paper tiger. To me, like the Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk put it, I thought that this was a reflection of the president's desire to shift the responsibility for the war's outcome onto the Europeans rather than an announcement that would herald a new era in terms of the US-Ukraine policy. And if the US were indeed to supply Ukraine with Tomahawk missiles, whether or not mediated through and financed by Europeans, that would be a new development, and I think that would be a major shift in policy. What we've heard from the vice president, though, is that it's something that the United States is contemplating, and I think we'll have to see for the decision when it's being made. And the president in the past, when he wanted to take action, he was able to take action very quickly. When he wanted to just kick the can down the road, he was able to do that as well. So I think we'll know soon enough which one of the two it is.
For Ukraine, Tomahawks could tilt the battlefield by hitting Russia where it hurts most. For Russia, their arrival would be seen as a dangerous escalation. And for the West, the decision is less about technology and more about whether the benefits outweigh the risks of crossing yet another red line in Europe's most dangerous war in decades. With Farhan Khan, Bureau Report, India Today Global.